Hey, Mr. Dixon.
Hi, Ginger. How are you?
Great. Um, Thanks for joining me today. So we are going to spend a few minutes today talking about AP at Crosstown High, which is something that we're growing into and developing as we go along. And there's a few things that are different this year, but a few things that are kind of the same. So we just want to talk through that. So you're here, so I'm assuming you're up for doing that.
Absolutely.
All right,
I'm
cool.
ready.
Very good. All right. Well, let's start by like not even going directly to AP, but just talking a little bit about kind of the core academic principles of Crosstown High that are driving our overall academic program, and then how that maybe relates to AP.
Yeah, I think that's a really good place to start in order to just kind of frame out how does AP eventually factor into who we want to be and what our values are. So, as an academic institution, one of our key values is that we want our learning that students engage in to be project based. And the reason that's important to us is because project based learning roots learning in authentic real world context. So we really want students to think about how the learning they do connects to real world problems, but also how it connects to who they are as learners. And of course, we are having these students pass through our hallways for 4 years, but their education doesn't stop there. Their learning and their growth and their careers are in many ways still yet to come. And so how do we present opportunities that help shape, the student as they're becoming who they want to be in their future careers? Secondly, we are competency based. So we really do believe this kind of relates to project based learning in authentic real world context. We want our students to really grow in specific skill areas that will set them up for success in a 21st century context. So things like reading critically for sure, and learning how to process mathematically, how to lead inquiry, how to reason quantitatively, those things are really important. And you see those in traditional classrooms as well. But beyond that, learning how to collaborate on teams and express themselves and develop self-knowledge and engage as a citizen. These are skills that we really all need to be. I'm 39 years old and I'm developing these skills, and I'm in the process of developing these skills. It's really important. So we want our projects to reflect those skills. And then finally, we really believe in a diverse by design model, which means lots of different things. It means that we want to be a community that recognizes, celebrates diversity, that brings students together from a wide range of backgrounds, both racially, socioeconomically, but also we're recognizing that every learner comes to the classroom with a diverse set of needs and backgrounds and skills and interests. So how do we not only offer projects that allow for students to really make the most out of their learning opportunities, but also how do we offer courses that allow students also to be able to make choices that come from who they are and what they need to be successful.
Yeah, I think that's a super helpful framework to kind of dive into AP conversation. So let's just start like really basics. Like some kids have already taken AP. Some of us who were high school students a real long time ago, even longer ago than you, Mr. Dixon, took AP classes back in high school. But if you just kind of describe what a AP class is, and why a student might choose to take one, what would you have to say about that?
Yeah. So AP stands for Advanced Placement. And the idea behind an AP course is that students can take these courses that are sort of taught at a college level. They're higher level courses that utilize some college level skills in order to really provide students opportunities to challenge themselves in these really specific disciplinary areas. And the idea behind an AP course is that you can demonstrate to colleges when you're filling out your college applications that they took a challenging course load, that they may have opportunities to boost their chances for admission as a result of those experiences. But also there is an AP exam at the end of these AP courses that if certain scores are achieved on those exams, depending on the exam, depending on the course, some colleges recognize certain scores on the AP exam as college credit. So that really does, for some students, depending on the college and depending on the course, provide opportunities to save some tuition dollars and save some time once they get to college. So that's one way that you can approach an AP course. Also, just an opportunity to take a deeper dive into a subject area that a student might be interested in. That's another factor when it comes to AP courses.
Okay, so I think just as important as thinking about why you might take an AP course, why would you maybe not consider choose to take an AP course?
It's a great question. And so we just said that AP courses allow for opportunities when it comes to that college admission that could potentially lead to some benefits once, those applications are processed. But at the same time, a student should not take an AP course simply because they want to boost their resume by taking as many courses as possible and just simply transactionally thinking about these courses is just, um, you know, ways to weigh down a resume. And that may sound kind of counterintuitive, but the reason why that is not a good reason simply to just fill up your schedule with AP courses is because the possibility for burnout and just overloading with these courses is very real. And also, it sort of removes the opportunity to get the most out of AP courses when they're taught well. And what we believe is the way that we want to approach them at Crosstown High. It can really weigh down the student's schedule to such an extent to which that stress and that breaking point are very real possibilities halfway through the year. So wanting to just simply fill up your schedule with as many AP courses as possible in order to boost your chances of college admittance actually works against you in the long run often because it's just too much.
Yeah, I know in my conversations with my advisees right now, a number of them are facing AP tests in the next month and they are feeling the pressure for sure. Another thing
Yeah.
I would mention too is that for rising juniors in particular, your junior year is going to be probably one of your most challenging of high school. And so just thinking about like you're already going to have a pretty heavy load. So being realistic with yourself about what else you want to take on in terms of AP.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked a little bit kind of about why you might take them, why you might not take them. Can you talk specifically about how we offer AP courses at Crosstown High, which is a little different than in some ways than how they do it at other schools?
Yeah, I think maybe a good place to start with that is maybe talking about some of those traditional school practices that we want to actively work against. A lot of times that AP courses are offered at traditional schools, and they're offered to or they're marketed to or geared towards students who are performing at a very high academic level. And so those students often get put into AP or kind of tracked into AP courses. And because of the way that traditional schools often track students or grant opportunities to students, it's often the case that students um, from certain socioeconomic levels or with certain supports end up naturally feeding into those courses because of the opportunities that they have. And students who could maybe handle or would get a lot out of AP courses often don't have access to them simply because of the way that students are tracked throughout their school careers. Because we are a diverse by design school, we believe that all students should have access to opportunities like AP courses, regardless of their academic backgrounds. And so one of the things that's really important for us is that we want to increase access to these opportunities. We also, in doing that, want our AP courses to be project-based and competency-based, just like our non-AP courses. And we believe that that is possible because we've seen research that shows that when students actually learn AP material in a project-based framework, which connects them to authentic real-world opportunities, they actually improve in their AP scores as a result of those experiences. When you root learning in authentic experiences, whether it's an AP course or a quote unquote traditional course, the result across the board is improved student achievement on all sorts of different measures. And so we believe that that's really important. And we want to break certain cycles of access for students in traditional schools. We want to teach our AP courses from a project-based framework. And so as a result of that, our philosophy is that we want to open access and encourage students to try new things. One other thing about AP courses at Crosstown, because we really do want to grant our students increased opportunities to make choices about their future based on their interests, whether it be their personal interests or career interests, we really try to emphasize the connection between the disciplinary content of AP courses and the real world career opportunities that are connected with them. For example, AP chemistry is rooted ultimately in the type of work that real chemists do across the world. And so linking students to those opportunities, but also framing these choices in what a student wants to do after high school. For example, are you interested in a career that is maybe geared towards politics or comparative politics in some way? Well, we have an AP government course in the 12th grade that will be a great choice in order to really get your mind around some of those concepts and prepare for college. Are you interested in a career perhaps that is in the humanities, perhaps a law career, that a place where you're using language in a very unique and specific way? AP literature is one option. AP seminar and AP research that follows are also ways to really hone writing skills that can prepare you for a career that you might be interested in. We're talking about this in light of AP, but that applies to lots of our different course offerings. We have opportunities coming in the upcoming year through Tech, for example, for students to gain some skills that they would apply in a non-academic setting that can set them up for success in the career of choice after high school as well. So whether it's STEM courses or it's humanities courses or it's courses that don't fall under that academic umbrella, we want our students by the time they're seniors to be able to have access to coursework that will prepare them for what they want to be doing with their lives after they graduate high school.
So what I feel like I hear you saying is that anybody really can consider AP courses as an option for them. If I'm a student and I read a course description and it sounds kind of interesting, but I'm still not sure if it's a good fit for me, what should I do?
It's a great question because there are some students who are going to read a course description and they're going to think, that sounds really interesting. I don't know. Like, I've never thought about taking an AP course before. I've never been encouraged to take an AP course before. The best thing for that student to do would just be to go and talk to that AP teacher. Talk about what are the requirements for this course? How much extra work besides what's happening in class will be required of me? How is this going to affect my school week? Are there extra workshops or things like that that I might be attending? But also just being honest about, here are some things I struggle with academically. What do you recommend that I do to prepare if I want to take this course? So I think just entering the conversation in a very honest, open way is the best way to do that. And I definitely do not think that any of those reservations should be a reason not to take a course if the passion and the will is there to try something new and to take on a challenge.
Yeah, and we are going to be having some interest meetings coming up about like every specific AP course that we're offering. The teacher who's teaching that is going to be offering an interest meeting for both students and parents to come learn more about that specific course, what the expectations are, outside of class, even over the summer in some cases. And that's a great opportunity to ask questions about whether that specific course is going to be a good fit for you. All right, you hit on this a little bit already, but just to kind of to highlight, let's talk about a few specific courses. So you mentioned STEM. Like if I am a person who I know I'm headed in a science, technology, engineering, math direction, which AP courses might I want to be looking at?
Yeah, so there are a few different options. There's AP chemistry. We also will potentially offer AP biology, depending on student interest. We also have AP stats, AP calculus. These are examples of course offerings that are really specifically geared towards an area of, I guess, an area of specialty within math or science. That would be examples of those types of courses. One thing I'll add to that is we have an approach to AP where we want to make AP levels of rigor. We want to make AP opportunities available to all students. So some of our courses are integrated and some are what we call standalone. What we mean by integrated courses is that, for example, if I am in 11th grade, I'm going to be taking American history and I'm going to be taking English 11. English 11 is going to be an AP language structure across the 11th grade, whether I'm taking the AP exam or not. AP US history, the same sort of concepts that are being discussed in an AP course will be discussed all across the 11th grade. Some students may choose to take the AP exam and some may not, but everyone's having the same learning experiences. Some of our courses, especially at the 12th grade level, are standalone, meaning students are making these choices, building their schedule in the same way they would in college, or in order to prepare for college, asking these more nuanced questions about who am I and what am I interested in. So those STEM courses that we talked about are for students who might be interested in that as a career or just fascinated by those topics.
Yeah, and those like the chemistry, AP chemistry, bio, stats, calculus, those are all standalone courses. The AP Lang and AP US history that you mentioned at the 11th grade level are integrated. So let's talk just one specific class that you and I have had some conversations about is AP Lit, which is available to 12th graders this year.
Yeah.
And it can be taken as your English 4 credit. Which so some students might say, well, I'm just going to sign up for that because that's the hardest version of English 4. What should I consider if I'm thinking about that?
Yeah. So AP literature is a little different from, say, AP language at the 11th grade. AP language and composition in the 11th grade really just looks at a lot of nonfiction, but also some elements of rhetoric. So things that we can consider to improve our writing in a lot of different contexts in order to be more persuasive or more direct or more clear with our writing, and analyzing speeches and documents and things like that. AP literature is very geared towards poetry and fiction and analyzing through writing the elements of craft in poetry and in novels specifically. So that is in many ways, as Ginger said, it's the same, as you said, it's the same course material in many ways. It's literature. It fulfills that English 12 requirement. But AP Lit's going to be a lot more heavy just on a ton of poetry, a ton of novel reading, a ton of writing about those things. So it's really geared towards that level of analysis and reading in such a way that it makes more sense for that to be a standalone course that we're saying, if this is something that you're genuinely passionate about, if you love to read or you like to read and want to read more, or you're interested in a career that's going to really pull from some of those skills, then take AP Lit. That's a standalone course. Not every 12th grader is going to be reading poetry and novels and things like that, but not necessarily at that level of analysis. So that's why we've made that more of a standalone course.
Yeah, this is the course that I always use as my example of the AP course that I loved in high school, because basically I just love to read a whole lot. So if you're like, you can come talk to me if you want to counseling on whether that's a good fit or not. Okay, but if I am a senior and that doesn't sound like maybe up my alley, but I still want to push myself in terms of research skills, writing, presentation, that sort of thing, what about AP Seminar and Research? Can you talk a little bit more about those courses?
Absolutely. If, as you said, you want to practice those presentation and research and writing skills, hone in a little bit more of it in a way that kind of takes those skills out of just literature and spreads them across lots of different other types of writing and presentation, AP Seminar is a great place to go. So that is really a crash course in a lot of those writing, a lot of skills that are going to improve a lot of different areas of academic. Those academic tools will be sharpened in that course. And that's a lot more applicable to a lot more things besides just literature. AP Research is the second part of that, what we call AP capstone set of courses. So AP Seminar is the first step, and then AP Research is the second step. And so if you're a rising 12th grader and you've not taken AP Seminar, you could take that and it would be a way to really practice those skills. Or if you're interested in what's called an AP capstone diploma, that comes from completing the AP Seminar and AP Research course. And at the other side of that, students really do learn a lot about academic research, but also presentation. Is a great choice.
Awesome. Okay. Well, this has been helpful for me, and I hope it is helpful for everyone who's considering AP. So again, this video should be accompanied by a document that has a lot more information in writing, as well as some upcoming dates of interest meetings for specific AP courses. So if you are a student or parent, guardian of a student who is interested in any of those courses, we're actually going to require that people have either attended those interest meetings or watched the video of those meetings by the time you sign up, to make sure everybody is clear about what you're getting yourself into, and the opportunity that AP presents, in addition to a lot of other opportunities at Crosstown. So thank you, Mr. Dixon, for sharing your wisdom with us. We will
Thank
be
you.
seeing you guys in some of these upcoming interest meetings. All right, thanks.